I wish that my name was Cardigan Bay. Cardigan Bay, Cardigan Bay, world's greatest
So we face the same way.
raising and saying.
From that side.
New Zealand, far USA, he's the world over, our Cardigan Bay.
Okay, now just listen, alright? I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 left, and then we walk backwards, and then we're going to rotate clockwise. So follow me. 1, 2, 3 left, walking backwards, clockwise.
Frisky brown coat, like many we've seen.
Come forward.
Out on the racetrack, he soon showed his style, winning each major race in a very short while. Cardigan Bay, Cardigan Bay, world's greatest pacer, don't racing men say. From south
Those who are able to, please stand for Moss family.
he's known the world over, our Cardigan Bay. Some American horsemen looking away to race with the best in the far USA. He's broken all records, each race he has won. There's no horse can match him. He starts to run. Cardigan Bay, Cardigan Bay, he'll go down in history, then people will say. From South New Zealand to the far USA, the world's greatest pacer was Cardigan Bay. He's known the world over, our Cardigan Bay. Forecasters running and horses of fame, the sulkies and cars in the old racing game. You can bet your last dollar you'll hear someone say, I wish that my name was Cardigan Bay. Cardigan Bay, Cardigan Bay, world's greatest pacer, so racing men say. From South New Zealand to the far USA, he's known the world over, our Cardigan Bay. He was raised in the town of Westmoreland, a frisky brown coat, like the many we've seen. Out on the racetrack, he soon showed his style, winning each major race in a very short while. Cardigan Bay, Cardigan Bay, world's greatest pacer, so racing men say. From South
Welcome everyone, and thanks so much for coming today to help celebrate the life of Kevin, or as we all fondly know him as Moth. Before we start, the family would like to express their deepest appreciation for the first responders for the great care that they gave Kevin last Thursday night. They would also like to acknowledge Lindsay Soper for all that he's done to help the family today. He's been amazing. Maria would also like to thank Karen for all the help that she has given her, helping her get things sorted at her dad's house. We will be hearing tributes from family and friends today, and I will call you up when it is time, so please don't fret, we've got this. After the service, when we carry him off out, we ask if you could all walk behind him, and we're going to drive him around to the pub for his last drink. So I think that's a fitting thing, do you think? We're also going to be running a sweepstake over there for Moppy's last race. So you'll need to see Lisa and Chris for that. They'll have the things that you'll need. And the race is going to be run at 4:24, I do believe. I'm sure he'd love to have that last race on, put that last bit. Today's service will be recorded and will be available on the Leishman's website after the funeral. It will be a couple of hours before it's available, and if you need to pass this information on to your friends or family, please do so. Don't grieve for me, for now I'm free. I'm following the path that God laid for me. I took his hand when I heard his call, and I turned my back and left it all. I could not stay another day to laugh, to love, to work, to play. Tasks left undone must stay that way. I found that peace at the end of the day. It is an important day when we gather to honour a life and mourn a death. Time stands still for just a moment as we stand here to acknowledge that someone has touched our lives, has left an imprint on our hearts, and that our souls are eternally changed. While not every moment was easy and not every memory etched in gold, in the final moment, Moth gave to each of you every inch of what he had to offer. Today is a very sad day, but Moth would not like us to be sad. He would want us to celebrate his life, so this is what we will do. We are here today to support one another, so our thoughts are here with Margaret and Dennis, which is Moth's sister, and brother-in-law, and Paul and Leanne families, Kevin's children, Gordon, Maria, Craig and Stephen, also his grandchildren, Charlie, Aidan, Chantal, Chloe, and I'm sure we have other extended families here that I'm not sure of. I would now like to share with you Moth's life story, and thank goodness for his sister Margaret. Together we got it sorted. Where it all began. Kevin John Mulvihill, known locally as Moth. Kevin was born in Westport on the 5th of August 1949. His parents were Jack and Catherine Mulvihill, and he had one sister, Margaret, who is here with us today. Kevin's early life was not an easy one. He lost his mother at 20 months old and his father 10 years later. Margaret was very unwell as a child, and Kevin proved to be a devoted and caring brother, often doubling her on his bike to take her wherever she wanted to go. At a young age, Kevin was out on his own, as Margaret was not well enough for them to set up home together. At around 16 years old, the McDonald family brought him to Balclutha, where he began working in the flax industry. Although he moved, he never really went far. Kevin chose to remain in the region for more than 60 years. Kevin had a strong interest in sport, particularly rugby and cycling. He achieved success in track cycling, winning awards, competing in the 100-mile road race from Westport to Reefton back in the early 1960s. He also played rugby for a time in Clutha area, and in the later years enjoyed following club rugby closely. He always kept Margaret up to date with many teams were competing and who was leading the competition. Kevin, known as Moth to many, dedicated over 50 years of service to the Finnegan Freezing Works. He started his employment in the early 70s and spent most of his time on the slaughter board, but moved to the casing department around 2017. After the casing closed, he transferred to the chambers, where he was still working at the time of his passing. During off seasons, he worked other jobs, including time in Australia and occasionally back in Westport. He was a hard worker throughout his life, right up until the very end. We extend our sincere thanks to Silver Fern Farms for their continued support for Kevin, and to his workmates for their kindness and their respect. Kevin married Linda in Westport, and together they raised their 4 children, Gordon, Maria, Craig and Stephen, and in later years Kevin and Linda went their own separate ways. Moth was well known as a social man, and as many of you here would agree, he lived in Harper Point for over 20 years and didn't venture far from the area. A man of routine, he enjoyed reading the paper, watching the horse racing, often having a bet or two, following rugby and spending time at the pub. It will come as no surprise that he won many rugby picks at the local hotel. He was without a question an Otago man at heart. Margaret and the Mulvihill family would also like to express their gratitude to the Harper Point community for the love and the care of Moth. Kevin shared a special bond with his nephew and niece, Paul and Leanne. It's fair to say that Kevin will never truly be gone while Paul is still here. Such was the closeness they shared. They had many common interests, and even just a few weeks ago, Kevin was still offering tips, one of which paid out nicely for a workmate. Kevin's children and sister Margaret would like to thank you all for being here today, and they invite you to join them next door at the hotel for refreshments after we have farewelled Moth on his final journey. I would now like to ask Paul to come up and speak on behalf of his family, and I'll follow up by the tributes that I have to read.
Good afternoon. I'm Paul, Kevin's nephew. And growing up, I was fortunate enough to have a lovely sibling. And so my mother, and she's often said how wonderful Kevin was for her. For me, my relationship with Kevin, it was often around horse racing and phone calls of that nature. He would often tell me that the best thing about the Rickenham races was the vet leaning on the rail in their long boots at the start. It was only a few weeks ago I took a horse that Mum and Dad got a share to Ashburton to race, and we were drug tested afterwards, or the horse wash, should we say. And it was that vet taking the blood test. So I was able to take a photo and send it to him with a few laughs behind it. Yeah. One of the good memories I have of Kev actually was a phone call we had one time. And I believe he was driving from the pub in Belputha to the pub in Owaka. And he says, hang on a minute now, I've just got to pull over. So I pulled over and we were having a chat. And all of a sudden he says, hang on. And there's a lot of noise and a lot of commotion. And then I hear the phone kind of drop and there's more noise and more commotion. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Something serious is happening here. Then the phone went dead. I couldn't contact him for another 25-30 minutes until he was in Owaka. And it turned out that driving, there'd been a cyclist get in his way. So when he finally got past him, he'd given him a bit of a serve. When he'd stopped at the end of the gorge to talk to me, the cyclist turned up and gave the serve back. So, yeah. But, yeah, we'd just like to thank this whole community of the love that you've had for Kevin. It's been wonderful, and coming from small communities ourselves, we know what it means to love the community. That's really appreciated by us all. Yeah, thank you.
Don't be afraid to clap. We're here to celebrate this man's life, so if you feel a need to clap when somebody speaks, that's perfectly fine. I've got a little poem here I'd like to read on behalf of Maria. She's, didn't think she could speak today, but that's okay. It's called A Much Loved Dad. The day that God called your name, it broke my heart in two. But heaven needed an angel, and the one he picked was you. I just wish he could have waited and let you stay with me. But you have left memories in my heart, and that's where they'll always be. I just wish I could rewind the clock or make it turn real slow. Could have hugged you one more time before you had to go. No matter how much time will pass, I'll miss you every day. Keep shining bright in heaven so you can light my way. It's a beautiful poem, Maria. I now have one from his grandchildren, from Charlie, Aidan and Chantal and Chloe. Every time I look at the stars, I know that's where you'll be, shining like you always do and watching over me. Although the pain I'm feeling is with me every day, the love you left inside my heart will never go away. Life goes on without you, but it will never be the same. And if I had my time once more, I'd do it all again. So when my days are darkest and I just can't see the light, I look at the brightest star and you'll be shining bright. Another little tribute here from Chloe, beautifully written. I have some great memories of our times together, especially your Christmas visits. I will miss them dearly, and it won't be the same without you. Just recently we came up to see you with your kids, spending the day with you, and the kids enjoying the beach that you love so much. It was a day full of laughter and memories that I will now cherish. I will not be the same not being able to visit. We love you, Granddad, and we will miss you dearly. Lindsay, where are you, darling? Do you think you might want to? Not today? That's all right. I'd like to ask Stacey. She'd like to join us up here, please.
I moved to Carter Point 21 years ago with one friend. That quickly became two as we moved next door to Moth. It probably didn't hurt that we were chicks, as Mothy was a self-described chick magnet. But in all seriousness, I do not know if I would still be living here today without Moth's fast and fierce friendship, quickly embracing us as though he had known us all our lives and introducing us to the community that soon became my home and extended family. We gather here today for Moth, someone who was, in the truest sense, a friend to all, embracing everyone with his charismatic wit and charm that is shown by the abundance of people filling this hall to celebrate Moth's life today. Moth was thoughtful in ways that didn't ask for attention. The sort of person who noticed things, who checked in, who remembered, who quietly cared, who seen you needed a friend to share your troubles with and have a laugh, even when you didn't know that you needed that yourself. And yet alongside that kindness, there was a spark, a love of people, of conversation, and yes, a very healthy appreciation for a good bit of gossip. Not out of unkindness, but out of connection, because Moth was interested in lives, and our stories, and the threads that tie us together as a town and as a community. He made people feel included, drawn in, part of something. He could be evasive at times, not in a way that pushed people away, but in that familiar human way that kept a bit of mystery, which was just the way he liked it. This made you lean in, listen closer, and somehow like him even more. He made spaces feel welcoming, not by being the loudest, although at times he was, but by being present, warm, and open, by making space for others to be themselves, and that is no small thing. Because long after moments pass, what remains is how someone made us feel. And Moth made people feel welcome, seen, and included. Today we feel the absence of that presence in conversations that will be quieter, in gatherings that will be missing something we can't quite replace. But we also carry him forward in the way we look out for one another, in the stories we continue to share, and yes, even in the laughter and little bits of gossip that would have made him smile. A life like Moth's does not simply disappear. It echoes softly, warmly, in all the lives it touched. And for that we are grateful. On Grief and Love, so this is a snippet from Winnie the Pooh. How lucky am I to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard. And then, Moth, the man, the myth, the legend, forever loved.
Nicole, are you all set, sweetheart?
Moth, you were one of a kind. Probably people looked at our friendship as odd because there was 40 years between us, but we just had a bond. If you could say soulmate, I would say that. People that knew us would probably say we made them feel like a third wheel because we'd just be in our own world, cracking jokes and laughing. In all honesty, you were my truest friend. We'll miss you beyond measure. Kaka Point has lost something today. It will never be the same without you. I cannot remember a time when we didn't meet up. Honestly, sometimes it would just come to see you, not even tell my family. We would always have time for each other. You would come visit me over the years, no matter where I lived. We've had many interesting evenings together, even at a certain club. We would do the Roxburgh races every year, and you were so happy to take Maya to her first one. And she was beyond excited to go to the next one, which we weren't sure about coming to, so I'm glad you did. Lots of trips in your car and your midlife crisis ute, especially around the Kaka Point Gorge. It was getting picked up at Mum's, here's a beer darling, and off we went. Mums would say, oh yeah, no worries, I'll look after your child, or you go with Moth. And I said, okay, thanks. One funny story I remember, I just got a new car and no neighbours knew it. Well, by the time you had got to work, the rumour had spread that you had a new girl over. It was just me drunk on your couch, as I did numerous times. But you just allowed that rumour to go on because you loved the fact that people thought you could still get the young ladies. And especially at pubs, I would go in and I would play it up. But he loved the fact, he's like, we got them, they think it. And I'm like, okay, because I've known him probably since I was 12. I used to meet him at what we would call Sunday school, which we would go to people's houses and drink and have barbecues. And he was the funny man that would tell me all these hilarious stories from Australia about how he went to topless bars and things like that. And I just thought, living in a small town, he was just hugely funny stories. He was the best person in my whole life. Came to my wedding, I would call him for everything, good, bad or ugly. And now this is really ugly and I can't call him. But that's okay, because I know he's here with me. I could go on and on about stories because 22 years of friendship, you have a lot. But all I really want to say is, thank you for your friendship. I would cherish it forever. There's a huge hole in my heart now that no one will ever replace. I love you, my Moth, and I'll always be your girl. I will never forget you. Thank you.
It's very hard to come up here and pour your heart out to somebody that you love so much. You've done so well, Nicole. Stacey, now I've got another one. A tribute from Sonia. Sonia. I've known Moth since I've lived in Kaka Point. And I remember when he moved here, I was at Mike and Jackie's place the day he arrived. He rented a place in Paul Road, and I think they owned it then, or organised it anyway, and I do remember that. And that was over 20-something years ago. I would just like to share this little story with you all today. We've had many a giggle over the years. So when Moth had bowel cancer, I went to a few hospital appointments with him. We decided after his treatment it would be better if he came home and stayed with me while he was recovering. He was such an easy patient, although it was very funny. People would ask, how's Moth doing? I'd say he's great, he's in my bed. Meanwhile, I was on the mattress on the floor. Again, I was asked, how's Moth doing? Great. He's in my lazy boy chair, sponging out and running around after him, getting him food whenever he wants it. He's as happy as. Ivan Gabalinsky would deliver the newspaper every day and laugh and say, I've got photos, Moth, of Moth in your bed, sniggering away as he left, as you can imagine if you knew Gabbo. Moth had to start doing a little bit of exercise, so I'd drive us down to the beach and we would go for short walks. Moth was never seen walking on the beach, let alone with a woman. He stayed with me for 2 weeks. Moth always said to me that he was forever grateful and wouldn't have got through without this support. Moth, you are a legend and you are going to be so very, very missed. My heart is broken. You will be forever in my heart. Kaka Point just won't be the same without you. Rest in peace, my friend. Love you very much until we meet again. The man, the myth, the moth. I remember the day I met you. Big bowl of spates, darling. And I was then corrected on the glass. It had to be the bowl glass. We all know that, don't we, Tegan? We've been in trouble before. From there, our friendship grew. We started going on Sunday drives. It started with me going to the Weka pub, and then it grew, and sometimes to Kai, then to Milton, then back to Kai, then to the Rosie. You taught me all about horse racing, trainers and all, but of course I would always go by names. I remember one Sunday you told me to pick up a certain horse, but I didn't. I went for the one called Because. Well, because why not? That horse ended up winning, while his came last. And then he probably told me I could walk on. But that was you, always full of banter, always making us laugh, especially with your witty comebacks. You were always there when I needed someone to listen, and I know I wasn't the only one. The staff at the South Otago pub will always remember you coming up and whispering all the gossip that you knew. He's pretty good with it. I heard that so many times. Those moments meant more than you know. You never failed to make people happy and laugh. You brought me so much light into the world. Thank you for everything. I miss you more than words can say. Love you, Granddad Mothy. Beautiful. Now, I've obviously jumped way ahead here. I had apologies here, which I've just come to the paperwork here. So I have an apology here from Ken Wood, and I've also Bronwyn and David Bicken. And this is an apology from Danny Gutsall. So I am reading this on behalf of the Silver Ferns Farm. So I will read this to you now. Today we honour and remember Moth, a highly respected and much loved member of the Silver Fern Farms family. Moth began his journey with us on the 26th of November 1973, and from that day on he gave decades of loyal service, hard work and dedication. He started on the slaughter board as a butcher, where his skill, work ethics and reliability were well known and deeply valued. He was also a staunch unionist, which we knew that. I remember times in the slaughterman's smoker room with Moth was that passionate about sticking it to the company and voicing his own opinions. He would be holding onto that mic with two hands and shaking while he spoke. He certainly got his point across. Over the years, Moth took on many roles, later working as a forklift driver in the C&D stores, and then moving into the dot, always approaching each job with the same commitment and pride. Moth wasn't just a worker, he was part of the fabric of the site. He was someone people recognised and respected and relied upon. His presence was familiar, steady and genuine, exactly the kind of person every workplace is better for having. Outside of work, Moth wore his loyalty just as proudly. Every Highlanders game, without fail, their flag would be hung up, a small but powerful reminder of his passion, pride and love for his team. It became something many of us associated him with, just another way Moth left his mark. Moth's contribution to Silver Fern Farm spans generations and his impact will not be forgotten. We are grateful for his years of service, his commitments to the job and the camaraderie he brought with him each day. Our thoughts are with Moth's family, friends and all of those who worked alongside him. He will be deeply missed and always remembered. Okay, so that's everybody that's spoken today. So we just had speakers, as we weren't too sure we could be telling stories here for the rest of the day. So a lot of sharing after we leave here today. So just come over and meet the family. It's now time for reflection. Now we will pause and have some time to think about our relationship with Moth. This is a time for you to reflect on what Moth meant to each of you and how he touched your lives. It's time to give thanks, a time to acknowledge the good times and the hard times and all the times in between. We will be listening to a very appropriate song, The Gambler by Kenny Rogers. As we all know, he loves a
On a warm summer's evening, on a train bound for nowhere, I met up with a gambler. We were both too tired to sleep, so we took turns of staring out the window at the darkness till boredom overtook us, and he began to speak. He said, "Son, I've made a life out of reading people's faces and knowing what the cards were by the way they held their eyes. So if you don't mind my saying, I can see you're out of aces. For a taste of your whiskey, I'll give you some advice." So I handed him my bottle, and he drank down my last swallow. Then he bummed a cigarette and asked me for a light, and the night got deathly quiet, and his face lost all expression. Said, "If you're gonna play the game, boy, you gotta learn to play it right. You got to know when to hold up, know when to fold up, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done." Every gambler knows that the secret to surviving is knowing what to throw away, knowing what to keep. 'Cause every hand's a winner and every hand's a loser, and the best that you can hope for is to die in your sleep. And when he'd finished speaking, he turned back toward the window, crushed out his cigarette, faded off to sleep. And somewhere in the darkness, the gambler, he broke even. But in his final words, I found an ace that I could keep. You got to know when to hold up, know when to fold up, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. You got to know when to hold up, when to hold up, know when to fold up, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. You got to know when to hold up, know when to fold up, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the deal is done.
didn't hear many people singing. Well, I was. Did you hear me? Okay. As I'm very renowned for very short funerals, we are now coming to the end of the funeral today. So I'm now going to ask you to stand and we're going to have the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Okay. We came together today to say goodbye to Moth. And now, before we end, let's take a quiet moment to reflect on our final goodbye to the earthly remains of Moth. And while what remains in our hearts can never leave us. Moth, go on your journey from this world, carried by the Spirit who made you and who loves you. May the homeward path rise to meet you, and may you be welcomed across the threshold and received in the loves of grace. For you, there is no more death or sorrow or pain. So may the company of heaven enfold you and keep you in peace this day and forever. Kevin's mother passed away 75 years ago this week, so we pray and trust that Kevin has been reunited with his mother and father. Rest in peace, Kevin, and rest in the arms of your mum and dad. Thank you.
Some of the boys got it in their head. Some of them don't. To follow the bread. The time ain't for me. That kind of time is just no break. This is what I'm looking for.
and take him over for his last drink. How do we feel about that? Yeah? Are you just going around the bed? Once we're all loaded up and ready to go. Are you just going around the bed?
You want to go in front?
You were laughing at this. Yeah. Out this way?
Of course you
Well, once he's got down there, I'll get it.
Oh, no.
See you, buddy. Oh my goodness.
Just take that, you know.
Down the road on No, so the game there. I think he's going to stay there for a wee bit. Yeah.